your outfit, you insist on making sure that the surrogate is anonymous, right? So,
yes.
you know, the parents don't know who the surrogate is. How is that a good thing? How is that better than having someone that you know, and then also having them involved in the process?
Okay. Familiarity, they say, brings consent.
Okay.
Even if it is your family member that carries pregnancy for you, you get to see some attitude sometimes. Because I hear a lot of these stories from...
Or you even fear some attitude because, you know, certain excesses will come up.
One woman had to relocate from Port Harcourt because our hospital insisted that she follows through. She followed the surrogate mother to the hospital. So the surrogate mother got to know her so well that, you know, she started embarrassing her everywhere, in the church, in her workplace. So she had to relocate from Port Harcourt to Lagos.
The surrogate mother was...
Yes, the surrogate mother was all around, you know, just making sure, extorting money, you know, all that. So these are the kind of things we try to you know, avoid when we say an anonymous surrogacy. The agency is there to look after the surrogate mother, ensures that she's compliant, ensures that, you know, she's cared for. And nobody is exploiting anyone, okay? So, honestly speaking, doing surrogacy, when you want to do it, then it's better you do anonymous.
So the rights of both surrogate mother and the parents are protected.
So that's why I wanted to come in. So you mentioned the contract, and I'm wondering, you know, sometimes when you enter into a contract on your own, maybe somebody else prepares the document and you're made to sign it. You have these fears as to, you know, what exactly you'll be getting. That's for the surrogate mother now. How do you as an agency take care of her side? What would you say, this and this and this and this that are the things that you would tick to, you know, to be in her interest, as opposed to the interest of the parents as well? You know, in this kind of relationship, something must give eventually if they knew each other. You know, knowing that, for instance, the parents of your child are even more well-to-do might increase your appetite for things. And pregnancies differ from person to person. She might not even foresee, you know, certain pregnancy or gestational issues around the pregnancy. Maybe she's required to be on bed rest. She's required to be on BP. Maybe you know, anything can happen before that she wasn't aware of before she went into the contract. So what are the things that you would say you'd ensure are in that contract in the interest of both parties?
Okay, first thing is the medical care available for her during pregnancy. Because, like you rightly said, anything could happen in pregnancy. Morning sickness could come up during first trimester. Okay, so if she's not, if there is no adequate medical care for her, then, you know, she might run into problem. Okay, so a surrogate mother wants to ensure that she's medically cared for during pregnancy. Also, after birth, in our agency, for instance, we still care for them till 6 months after birth, medically. Good. Okay, so you want to ensure that, because after birth, medically, stuff could happen.
So
you don't want to work with someone or an intended parent that says, after you have given birth, that is it. You don't want to work with such person because a lot can still happen after birth. So you want to ensure that, yes, you are medically covered. You want to ensure that you are also legally protected. Yes, that whatever it is, both of you has agreed on, yes, that, you know, it is being done. Okay, so these are few things to just look out for in a contract.
Okay. So this, can I?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, so this particular person talked about asking for accommodation. Is that a normal thing to ask for her accommodation to be paid for? Is that something that you do in the house? Is that something you encourage that people should ask for?
Yes, I do. It's something I would also recommend, because when you're doing surrogacy, or if you are a surrogate mother, for that period of 9 months, you need all the comforts that you should get. Okay, so for instance, if you have problem with your accommodation, your intended parents should sort it out for you. Okay, and some intended parents would also want their surrogate mother to live very well during that program. So it is not too much or out of place to get accommodation, to have accommodation allowance, to have wardrobe allowance, to have feeding allowance, transportation allowance. You know, all these allowances are there during this program to make life easier for the surrogate mother.
Why do you think a lot of women want to do surrogacy? What are some of the reasons you've seen has led them to want to do surrogacy?
Well, first thing is the medical aspect of it. A lot of women truly has medical need for surrogacy. For instance, some women are born without womb. Yes, and that's how God has created them. This set of women would need a surrogate mother. That's if they don't want to go into adoption. Then we also have some women that, you know, maybe during cesarean section or whatever operation they have done in the past,
They're not able to carry.
yeah, their womb has even been removed. Some had, what's it called, hysterectomy,
yes.
to remove the womb, you know. So this set of women, if they still have their ovaries and desire to have children, they can still make use of their eggs, their husband's sperm, and, you know, use a surrogate mother to have their baby. Then some other women have series of miscarriages and they're tired. I've met someone that has had 10, 11 miscarriages, you know, so they're just tired to experience all this again, and they feel using surrogate mother would, you know, give them that edge. And yes, I quite know a lot of them that, you know, that was the turning, yeah, that really made a whole lot of difference for them. Oh, yeah. Then, of course, fibroids is there. A lot of women have had series of fibroid surgery done, and these surgeries have a way, you know, later affected their womb, creating scars and all that. Yeah. You know. So this set of women would also need to use a surrogate mother.
Okay, in this lady's case, I read between the lines. I felt that maybe she had been a very demanding, overly demanding surrogate. And she was stressing the intended parents. That's why they've cut her off. You know, how do you stop like that kind of demand from the parents? Because she said she asked for 40,000. They were giving her, they told her to stay in the hospital for a while.
They abandoned her there.
She says they abandoned her, but if you read the story,
the story is not so...
it's not too straightforward.
It's not too straightforward. There is more to that story. I can tell as well that there is more to that story. Okay, maybe, yes, like you have said, she's overly demanding. Okay, so that's one of the things that comes with doing non-surrogacy. Like I said, I'm an advocacy of anonymous. Okay, so there is nothing that can be done. They would have just managed very well.
So surrogacy in African Magic would just end with the girl coming back to say, I'm not doing it. There was a particular movie, the AMVC's lead actress acted, where she had committed to doing surrogacy. She had even given the child. But when her husband now passed, she now said no.
She wants the child back.
This child, I don't think it's your. He looked like my husband because that night, you know, something.
We did something.
Is it possible, you know, that this happens in real life? Have you seen any of these comedies when it comes to this?
All those Nollywood and Hollywood stories. It doesn't really happen in real life.
Oh, really?
That's the truth.
Oh, wow. So it's fiction.
Yes, it is. Do you understand? That is, anyway, let me not say it doesn't, but, you know, if you use a surrogacy agency like ours, there's no way it will happen. Yeah. You understand? But if you use a known person as a surrogate mother,
anything can happen.
Or you do an arrangement yourself.
Anything
your friend.
Another comedy. Don't vex. Is it possible that the child has birth mark the same place the mother has?
Oh,
and she
God.
sees?
I think I've watched that movie.
It's possible because, you know, these things, we might take them, but you see them.
But there's DNA now.
Okay, so the thing is that, you know, there are two types of surrogacy.
Okay.
The gestational surrogacy, where the surrogate mother's eggs are not used. Then we now have the traditional surrogacy, where the surrogate mother's eggs are used. Okay, it's either she had sex or they do IUI. IUI means intrauterine insemination. So they take the husband's sperm and inject into the surrogate mother. So that means that biologically,
She's the mother.
genetically,
Wow.
she's the mother of the baby.
That one is risky. You should not cause that to take your husband. Don't
Hey,
That's not what we're discussing.
is that one that is worrying
It's
you?
not Thursday. It's not Thursday. We're discussing health issues.
It's part of health issues.
I just want to ask, for your outfit, do you come across people and you think maybe mentally or emotionally they should not be surrogates or intending parents wanting to use surrogate? Have you ever sat with a couple and think, after listening to them, you think, I don't think surrogacy is for you because of where you are mentally and your mindset? Do you come across them and how do you deal with them?
Okay. The truth is that I've learned my lesson in all these years that I've been doing surrogacy. Maybe I've probably had one or two intended parents that I wished I never had. Yes.
They stressed you out.
How?
Like having somebody, your surrogate just gave birth and the surrogate mother landed in a complication and this fellow just said, that's all, the contract has ended.
Oh, no.
Without any compassion. No empathy.
And she did not even call back to ask
How the lady was.
Yes.
Oh.
So that kind of person,
Well,
I
wicked,
think,
sha.
probably, although I started doing psychological evaluation now for both, not even the surrogate mother alone,
Yeah.
the intending parents, because I don't think it's a normal thing for somebody to carry pregnancy for you, because it could have been you.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you hear a lot
The
of
use and dump mentality to just walk out.
women that carry pregnancy by themselves, and something happened eventually. So why would you say the contract ended?
Oh, no.
So we took care of this lady. As I'm talking to you, I'm still taking care of her. She developed some issues, but thank God,
She's okay.
She's okay now. But comparing to where we were coming from, oh no.
This doesn't
But
happen
please,
anymore.
is there a
But there are
reasonable-
sorry, let me just ask. It's based off of something I know personally. How about surrogate intending parents after receiving the children are unable to show them
Love.
the love and care a biological
They're not
parent
attached.
is? So is there a way to see before then that this kind of parent may not connect with a child that has been given birth via surrogacy?
Well, I think I understand what you were saying, but the truth is, for each intended parent I come across, I try to educate them. Some have a notion of what their baby should look like.
Allah, wow.
Like,
How do you have a notion of what your
do
baby
you understand? Do you understand? So
Are you
you will
God?
tell me, I want my baby to be fair. I want my baby to be dark. I want twins. I want this.
Yes.
I want that. So I
you
get to
serious?
hear all that. And when I see that kind of inquiries, I
It's a red
Take yourself
flag,
away
right?
from-
no, I didn't. I educate them better.
Okay.
The fact that we use a fair person's donor's egg with your husband's sperm and your husband is chocolate or dark, doesn't mean the baby would turn out to be...
Go bleach am.
We have a caller,
you
please.
might-
Let me pause you out before we start bleaching the children. Peter from Abuja, I guess. Good morning, Peter.
Hello, good morning, Lucy and the lady.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, the lady was talking about an undisclosed surrogacy. So the question I want to ask is, we were told that it's very important when a woman is pregnant that she should be close to her husband. So what happened in the process when she's pregnant? What then happened when she's not meeting the partner as the man? So that's what I want to find out.
Thank you for your question. Very brilliant one.
Yes.
I should answer that.
No, we didn't hear her.
Okay.
No, please.
I think what I heard him say,
So what he's trying to say, when you're pregnant, married couple,
All the
they'll
lie
say it's
women
time-
have told.
Wait,
I've caught up with
let
them.
me
All the lies
explain
women
it to
have
her.
told.
So they'll say, be with your husband. In fact, sometimes when it's
The woman
about
needs her
labor
husband.
period, they'll say if you don't meet with the husband, it
makes
takes
it
longer.
difficult, yeah.
But when you meet with your husband, it makes it easier. So he's asking for a surrogate mother. Who is she going to be meeting with to aid This
All those notions, please just
not true.
try and erase them. Oh, crying out loud.
They like
You
to
still work
us.
for some. You work
Just
for
try and erase them, you know. So, the surrogate mother, by our own, you know, we try to even encourage them not to say off sex during this program.
So they don't contaminate the
It's not even
egg.
number one is the fact that we don't want to have a DNA issue at hand.
Ah.
Do you understand? So sex is a no-going area as far as this
For
period
9
is
For
concerned.
9 months?
Yeah. So for instance, if I
lot
meet a
of work.
surrogate mother and I ask you, what's your body count? How regular do you have sex? And
So nobody will tell you their body count.
no, one said, I can't do without sex. And I said, sorry, we can work with you. Yeah.
So these are the questions you ask.
Yeah.
I was
So
going to
you
ask
said a DNA, sorry, Nima, you said a DNA issue. What would cause a DNA issue? Because, okay, she's already pregnant and then she has a boyfriend and she wants to meet that boyfriend. What would cause the DNA? The DNA will not enter inside the baby now because she's already pregnant.
Why have you not heard?
But this is live television.
Why have you not heard of those twins that they
Split.
Yes, that two different
Fathers.
sperms, two different fathers
Fertilize them.
fertilize eggs.
It happens.
Anything could
Is that what you're saying? Is that
Of course.
It happens
Anything
medically.
anything could happen during the first 6 weeks, first 9 weeks.
okay? If she wants to have sex 3 months
if she
after,
wants to, yes. But however,
But she shouldn't.
who is
Somebody's
your
baby.
partner?
Yeah.
Have we screened him? Do you understand?
Sexual-
So it has to be surrogate partner.
you have to be pure.
And
good
we don't,
energy too.
We don't
Omiko
work
Bolognoshi.
with married surrogate mother, for instance, at meet surrogate mothers.
Okay.
We don't work with married surrogate mother because she's going to deny her husband from having sex
For 9 months.
for 9 months. So
Embarrassing.
So you mentioned, that
That's a lot of work.
a parent had
scary.
abandoned immediately a complicated surrogate mother post-birth. And I'm wondering, what are the reasonable period of time, in the contract that you can include that they must keep in touch and, provide further after
it's
birth?
even in the contract. Do you understand? 6 months. It's in the contract. She signed. But it's just that, I'm on a very cool side, so I don't want to take any legal issue. Or,
I understand.
Just let it go.
I just let it go.
Yeah, but
Take
let's
care of
take
it.
Going forward, you have things.
when you
to
take the
make
call, I have a
like that.
question.
Yeah.
It's there in the contract already.
Yeah.
Do you
We have
understand?
Tony from Bielsa. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Tony. The line is not clear. Okay, let's get in your question.
Yes, I was going to ask. Someone like me, for instance, I've had menopause, so I do not think I have egg anymore. So would someone be able to be a surrogate for me if I decided I wanted a child, which I don't want to? I'm just asking for conversation purpose. One, if I decided I wanted a child. Number two, could I be a surrogate?
How will
you cannot be a surrogate.
How will you carry it?
Because
I still have
the
womb
age
now.
we have required
The womb has
requirements
retired.
for a surrogate
The womb
mother.
has retired.
Yes, you're not menstruating again.
No.
How will you feed the
So,
baby?
It's not even feeding the baby.
No, you don't feed the baby.
No, how will you?
This is now.
Let the experts.
It is how is she going to get pregnant? That's number one. She's not menstruating again. Do you understand? Okay. Although the fact that you're not menstruating again doesn't mean
that you can't get pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
dear, that's not good
you
news.
need to go through some medical.
I can scatter her hormones. She'll just get you on the day.
And then
put her on some
jump
therapy.
across the
Some
fence.
hormonal
Time. HRT, you
get
get on the
belay on
HRT
her.
therapy. That would help your womb at least to take your womb back to the normal size. Then you can now do IVF using third party. Egg,
Oh, imagine.
and carry on.
All right, we have to go. Let's take your final words. What advice do you have for people out there like me who want surrogacy?
Of course,
I
use
won't mind, but
use a
You
reliable-
want to be the surrogate,
No.
or you want someone to surrogate for you?
I want someone to surrogate for me.
Okay,
But Mr. Man has not agreed. He still wants me to carry it. So what advice would you give to?
Of course, use a reliable surrogacy agency.
Okay.
Okay, so don't venture into this yourself.
Or with a friend?
Or with a friend, or with a
relative.
family, or just go anonymous. That's the best thing.
Well done.
All right.
Well done.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show. We have been talking to a fertility counselor, Olaronke Thaddeus, giving us an insight into the surrogacy issue. And that's all we can take on this segment. When we come back, we move on to yet another segment. Stay with us.